Hey Lobos, wanting to talk with you a little bit today about something we're going to be doing in math that's really important for us to understand when it comes time to use numbers and all sorts of different things with subtracting, adding, multiplying, and dividing. So let me show you what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be talking about what we call place value. Now, you probably learned about place value, even kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. I know for a fact that you have done things with place value, but you may have only taken it to certain points. So let's talk about place value this afternoon. So to start with, place value talks about how each different part of a number, each digit, makes a certain value. So in place value, you may have only talked about some parts before. We're going to talk about what each place or each digit of a number represents. So to start off with, we have right here, I'm going to divide this number up into its digits. Because in fourth grade, we go further than you may have gone in third grade. So the very first digit that we have is our ones digit. So any digit here is always representing our ones. You know, las unidades that we learned about in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. I know you still did them in third grade. I'm not going to talk too much about that because we already kind of know what those are. The ones, if you have your materials with our toolkit, we have our place value discs. This is a place value disc versus a ones disc. So after our ones place, then we have our next digit, which is our tens place. And I'm going to color code these. I want you to notice how I'm using these colors because they're going to help us with our materials as well. So after our ones place, then we move on. The next digit, as you may know, is our tens place. And with our tens place, each digit counts for 10. Whereas here they're only worth 1, here they're worth 10. After our tens digit, we have our hundreds place. One thing I did not show you before was our tens discs, which you'll need to cut them apart still, but this is a tens disc. So we use those with red. After our tens, we have ones, tens, we have hundreds. And as we know, any digit in the hundreds place is worth 100. This part, you should have learned this much since back in second grade, but I always want to review those to be sure. Our hundreds discs are orange. They're the circle with the 100 written inside of them. We're going to use those discs a lot, so make sure that you have those ready whenever it comes time for math. After our hundreds place, our next place is the thousands place. Now here's the thing. The thousands discs are yellow, but I can't really write in yellow and have you see it that well. So I'm going to try, but I'm going to trace over it in black just so we can see it better. I can always highlight afterwards to help us remember it. So ones, tens, hundreds, then we have the thousands place. It might be hard to see that, so I'm going to go ahead and go over it in black. And then, like I said, I can always color over it with a crayon or a highlighter. I can go over it in yellow to help me remember. You guys can do the same thing. Because you're going to be making this anchor chart in your notebooks, so make sure you're using these same colors. We use black, red, orange, yellow. If you can't see it that well, you can write it in pencil and then color over it in yellow as like a highlighter. After our ones, tens, hundreds, then we have our thousands like we talked about. After our thousands, any digit here represents 1,000. We would use a comma right here to show that this is the hundreds, tens, ones. We're moving on to our thousands. After our thousands, we move on again to the next place value. Our next digit, the next place in our place value, right here, is our 10,000s. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. So each piece here equals 10,000. Each piece here equals 1,000. Each piece equals 100. Each piece equals 10. Each piece equals 1. Our 10,000s discs are green. You can have them as a square or you can cut them out. That's up to you. Then finally, after our tens, thousands, we have our 100,000s. So keep counting those. Those are our blue discs. So each digit here is equal to 100,000. If you'll notice, we start from the right to the left. Usually when we read, we go this way. But as far as our values, we start at the ones and then go over. So ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So I have a number here that we're going to make, and we're going to look at how each of those pieces help us to figure out more about the number. So our number today, let me get these digits written in here first. To start off with, I have 600,000s. After my 600,000s, then I have a 4-digit in the 10,000s column. So we have a 6 in the 100,000s, 4 in the 10,000s. In our thousands column, we have a 5, which again, I know you can't see very well in yellow. So I will write over it in black. Then after I'm done with everything, I'll take a yellow crayon or a highlighter and kind of color over it to help me remember that that's what that was. In our hundreds column, we have the number 1. This is not the only number, of course, but this is just an example of a number. In our tens column, we have the digit 2. And in our ones column, we have a 4. So, from there, we have our number. We have 6 in the 100,000s, 4 in the 10,000s, 5 in the thousands, 1 in the hundreds place, 2 in the tens place, and 4 in the ones place. So, from all of this, we can figure out different ways to show a number. So let me get that for you. Let's look at the ways to show our number. From all of this, we're going to show 4 different ways. So, the very first way that we are going to look at making a number is what we call standard form. So again, sit with me. Standard form. Standard form is what we would call, some people call it the normal. The standard means it's what we normally use. When you look at a number, how do we normally write it? We normally write it just as is written. So, for our standard form, how do we write this number in standard form? Well, we just look at it. 645,000 with that comma, 124. That's the standard form. The standard form, we just write the digits, and that's all. We'll look at it and we can figure out the number. After our standard form, then we're going to move on to our word form. Now, this word form is how we would say it when we talk, and then when we write the number, maybe with words or letters, that's how we write it out. Your blue resource ring is going to be very helpful for this if you need it. If you don't need it, great. But if you would like it, this is a great tool because this has these words on it. It has from 1 to 20 right here. And then if you flip it over, it has from 10 to 100 here. I believe that is how far it goes, but you can still figure out how we do our word thousands and things like that. So if we look at our number, I can look here and I can say, okay, I need the word form. The word form, for this number, we have 6, so I write, but it's 600,000. So 645,000. So 645, all this right here, we say for the thousands. 645,000. 45,000, comma, 124. Now this is where that ring can come in handy. You can figure out how to write the word 40, how to write the word 5, how to write the word 6, how to write the word 1, how to write the word 100, how to write 20, how to write 4. This anchor chart will help you too. The word thousands is right here. The word thousands is right here. 645,124. I want you to notice, I never once said the word and. I did not say 645,000 and 124. No. We only use the word and if there's a decimal, which we're going to go into later on in 4th grade. But there's not a decimal right now, so you don't worry about that. So you just say 645,124. No ands in there at all. After we get through our standard form and our word form, our next way to do it is our base 10 form or our place value disc form. So for this is when we're going to use those actual discs that are in our toolkit. So if I look here, I need to show each of these in that exact amount. So I know that this number has 6 in the 100,000s place. So I need to draw 6 100,000s discs. And I'm probably going to use my pencil to fit those numbers in there because it's so small. But I can do that. 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, and 100,000. Here is my 6 100,000 pieces. Then I have 4 in the 10,000s place. So now I need to draw 4 discs that are circles that have 10,000 each. All right, so now I have my 100,000s and my 10,000s. Now I need my thousands. I have 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I write 1,000 in each of those because it's each worth 1,000. So I've done my 100,000s, my 10,000s, my thousands. Now I need to show my hundreds. I have one group of 100. Then I have 2 10s. So I show my 2 10s. And finally, I have 4 1s. So I draw 4 1s. 1, 1, 1, and 1. So that's our base 10 or our place value form. You may have learned it in the past, maybe in 2nd and 3rd grade, about using out the blocks, drawing out one group of 100 with a square, drawing out 100 or 1,000, drawing out the 10s pieces with a stick, and the ones with the ones block. That's fine as well, but we're really going to work on this new place value disc form to help us out more. So again, we've got standard form. We just write it out with digits. Word form, you say it out. 645,124. Write it all out. Then we have our base 10 or place value form, where we draw out each piece of the place value. And then finally, we have our expanded form. So for expanded form, that's fine. When we expand expand a number, we're breaking it out into the value of every single piece of place value. So let's look here. Starting here, we start from left to right in this case. So starting here at our farthest place value, we have 6 groups of 100,000. So I can count that out. 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000. 600,000 plus. Now I move over to my 10,000s. I have 4 groups of 10,000. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. After I put my 10,000s, now I move on to my thousands. I'm going to run out of space here, so I may have to move to the next line. That's okay. So now I have my 1,000s. 5 groups of 1,000. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Let's see if I can fit that in there. 5,000. Yes, I did. So 600,000 plus 40,000 plus 5,000 plus, we move on to the hundreds. I have 1 group of 100. That equals 100. Now that we've done our hundreds, we move on to the tens. And I have 2 groups of 10, 2 tens, 10, 20. That's equal to 20. After our hundreds, our tens. Oh, I wrote that in the wrong color. That should be in red. You guys can fix that on your copy when you do it. I'll fix it for now, just like this, and then I'll tape it over later. After our tens, we move to our ones. There's 4 ones, and they're each worth 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add that. 4. And that is our expanded form. If you were in my class in 2nd grade, we talked about la forma desarrollada, where we break it up into each little part. That's exactly what this is here. So once again, we have our place value where we're going all the way to 100,000s. We have 100,000s, 10,000s, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. Then we have our standard form, where the number just as it's written with digits. Word form, where we're using the words to say it all. We actually are saying it or writing out the words. We have our base 10 or place value form. We're using our place value discs. And later on, I will show you with the actual discs on screen too. But for now, for paper, this is what I'm doing. And then finally, we have expanded form, where we break out each place value into how much it's worth. How much is this worth? Plus 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 how much is this worth? If there's a 0, you skip it, but we'll go on to that later. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you. I know it's a long video, but your job today is going to be copying this down. I'm going to put a picture on Google Classroom so that you can copy it better as well. Keep this in mind. This is going to help us a lot with our math for the rest of the year. Let me know when you have questions, and we will talk later in math. Bye.